I think we good. I think we good, y'all. I think we good. I'm seeing the love already. What's good? What's good? Man, you already know what time it is. What's going on? Why my track sound like that? Yeah, there we go. That's much better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There we go. There we go. Y'all already know what time it is. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild, and I want to thank y'all for tapping in for episode 177. Wow, that's a lot of episodes, y'all. So I want to thank y'all for continuing to support, hitting that like, subscribe, and share button each and every episode. The love is real. The love is real. Y'all keep telling someone to tap in, and they tapping in and coming in with love. We get a couple of weirdos every episode, obviously, but 9 times out of 10 is always love. We always get the 1% weirdos, but hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Love the Brooklyn way. I want to give a quick shout out to the chat before we get started, before any of the announcements. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My birthday is basically here. When I hit 12 at night, my birthday is actually the 18th. So it's basically my birthday episode. So I want to thank y'all for tapping in and for showing so much love on my B day. It means the world to me that y'all just here and on top of my birthday. It's just amazing to see y'all. Can't wait to celebrate tomorrow. Who knows who knows what I'll do tomorrow, but I'm gonna find some way to have fun, entertain myself. So shout out to y'all in the chat. Quick shout out to Ebony in the building, King P in the building. I see that gifted. Wow. Thank you for the gifted. I appreciate the gifted. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Your contribution to the show is amazing and muchly necessary and needed to the show for the growth of the show. So thank you again, King P. Shout out to Treeman. Shout out to Winter. Shout out to Culture in the building. So thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all again for it's my birthday. Shout out to Hazel in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate you tapping. Have a blessed day. So for all of y'all that tapped in for my birthday on this episode, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm Big Cancer Gang. The 18th of July. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all. Quick shout out. Quick announcement, real quick. I want to thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentary for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. That's Button Snaps. Button hyphenated sign snaps.com. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. Make sure you go there. Again, the finest of movies you get for $4.99 a month. Also, I want to thank y'all for supporting my new EP that's on all music platforms right now called Winner's Loyalty. 6 songs, pure fire, especially for those real, true hip hop fans. Thank y'all for supporting my new EP. Continue to support the new EP. Is fire. All you got to do is type in Ashley Lovechild on any music platform. And again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hazel, the most blessed day in your life. And I'll be around people like tell them to have a blessed day. Appreciate that, Hazel. Appreciate that, Hazel. Uh, Shout out to Gray Man in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit them likes, hit them hearts, hit them likes, hit them hearts. This is my birthday episode, so we're gonna have a good time tonight. Again, tap in, tap in, tap in. Uh, let's put this gentleman on timeout. This is not the pod for that. He's a weirdo. So we're gonna get him up out of here real early, real quick. But again, thank y'all for tapping in, man. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. I'm in such a great mood tonight. I don't know if y'all can feel it through the camera, but I'm in such a great mood. I want to again just get this thing started and have a great show. Uh, First segment of the night, popular opinions. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to Cornelius in the building. Uh, yo, do it. you, you're a weird one. You're a weird one, Cornelius. He said, "Do it, Baptist." It's crazy. It's crazy. Shout out to you though, man. Hit them likes. Hit them likes. You made me laugh. I will say that you made me laugh. That's funny. Thank you for tapping it. Hit them likes, hit them hearts in the chat. Again, this is my birthday episode. You know what I'm saying? Big 1/8, the 18th of July. You know what I'm saying? So I'm real hype about that. Real excited about that. I'm gonna go crazy for my birthday. All right, y'all. First segment of the night, popular opinions. Y'all already know this is not my question. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions, y'all. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records. Y'all see it right here. Make sure you go to Instagram at OUV Records and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. The label motto is create, document, and inspire. Quick shout out to James. James from Arkansas. Appreciate you tapping in, my dog. Appreciate you, man. Hit them likes, hit them 100s, man. Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast? If this is your first time rocking with us tonight, we talk about everything from social commentary, sports. We're going to talk about everything tonight, and we're going to have a damn good time. And it's my birthday, so, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit them likes, hit them 100s, y'all. All right, y'all. First popular opinion question of the night, y'all. Favorite side character in the Friday franchises. Favorite side character in the Friday franchises. Number 1, the Joker Brothers. Number 2, Debo. Number 3, Pinky. Number 4, Money Mike. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. He's stupid. Again, the question is a favorite side character in the Friday franchise. Number 1, the Joker Brothers. Number 2, Debo. Number 3, Pinky. Number 4, Money Mike. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. All these characters was very pivotal in the franchise at some point in time. The Joker Brothers was hilarious. If you ever seen part 2, I've been on record with a popular opinion saying that I feel like Friday 2 is funnier than Friday, the original Friday. You just got too many people cooking, in my opinion. And Friday 1, hilarious. Of course, you know, Chris Tucker was hilarious. Pops was always hilarious. Red is hilarious. Ezel is hilarious. But part 2, I just think is on steroids. Day-Day character, it brings a different type of funny than Smokey. The uncle is funny. The pops is funny. Everybody's funny. The auntie's funny. Auntie Sugar trying to hit Craig on the couch, in the bed, anywhere she could get him. So I just think Friday 2 is the funnier movie. But the Joker Brothers is hilarious in that as well. Debo is known to be, you know, funny because of the seriousness. Pinky, me personally, I'm gonna say Pinky. Pinky's parts in all the franchise, all the movies, part 1, part 2, and part 3 is always memorable in my book, and it's always big. Pause. So I'm gonna say Pinky. I'm gonna go with Pinky. In the chat, I'm seeing Money Mike. Money Mike was funny in the movie. It's just one part of the Friday franchise I didn't find particularly funny was the fact that he was about to get raped. That wasn't funny to me, but everything else, like when they got robbed, you know, that was pretty funny. He came out to cut him or whatever the case may be, but I thought everything else was funny. But that's, you know, that's your choice. You know, nothing wrong with that, having your choice. So the chat went with Money Mike. Me personally, I went with Pinky. The rest of the world at 35%, y'all, and over 2,000 people voted for this. Debo at 35%. At 35%. I'm not mad at that. I just think that because Debo was in the first 2, his parts are funny, but it's not like ha 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 funny. So I'm gonna say, like I said, I'm still gonna stand on Pinky. Pause. But the rest of the world, y'all went with Debo. Shout out to you in the building. Shout out to you in the building. He's spamming them comments pretty heavy. I don't know what you're saying or what it means, but I hope it's in respect, and we appreciate you tapping it. Hit them likes, hit them hearts. You wasn't pausing. in the 90s is basically making innocent things or actions gay. We was actually. Pause is not a new thing. So I don't know where you got that from. Um, yeah, shout out to the brother from the Asian brother in the chat. He's spamming his comments. Appreciate you here. If you could put those in English and it's respectful, we love to have you. If you're a bot or anything like that, then you're not welcome. So please be respectful to the pod. Shout out to Ali in the building. Can you show me you got the right channel? Yeah, 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 let's all be, let's all hold it down and respect the pod. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question: favorite stand-up comedian on this list. Favorite stand-up comedian on this list. Number one, Dave Chappelle. Number two, Bernie Mac. Number three, Eddie Murphy. Number four, again, Cat Williams. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Again, question is favorite stand up comedian on this list. Number one, Dave Chappelle. Number two, Bernie Mac. Number three, Eddie Murphy. Number four, Cat Williams. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Shout out to Lucia in the building. Appreciate you tapping in from Brazil. We got Brazil in the building, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. That's what's up. Appreciate you tapping in. All right, so me personally, I think all these comedians are stand-up giants in my book. Me personally, all do their thing very differently. My personal comedic stylings of stand up is without a doubt Eddie Murphy on this list. It's without a doubt. It's not even close, in my opinion. But the rest of these guys are great in their own right. Dave Chappelle, the way he puts his stand up together with messaging, social commentary is unmatched. Cat Williams' ability to be funny and make us laugh at things that we have no business laughing at. We really don't. But he just makes it where we're laughing at things that is just absolutely funny. He's phenomenal. And Bernie Mac, I mean, he's the Mac man. I mean, his style, come to find out, a lot of his material wasn't true, right? And I don't know if that's like that for most comedians, but that kind of took the sting out of it. When you hear like, yo, it's my job to make people laugh. It's not my job to really tell the truth or whatever in my comic stylings, based on from his friends and family that came out spoke. But I love Bernie Mac's comedy. I love Bernie Mac's comedy. He's always probably the funniest person on the show. So me personally, I went with Eddie Murphy. In the chat, I'm seeing Cat Williams. I'm seeing Eddie Murphy as well. So I'm seeing a mix of Eddie Murphy and Cat Williams. Like I said, so I went with Eddie Murphy. Over 7,000 people voted on this, y'all. At 45%, the rest of the world went with Bernie Mac. I'm not mad at that. Bernie Mac ability to tell a joke, twist a joke, and make it his own is crazy. I mean, if you look at the Kings of Comedy special, it's the epitome of Bernie Mac or how he do his thing. Super duper funny, amazing comedian. All these guys are amazing comedians. This just comes down to who's your favorite. This is not necessarily who's better. This is more so who's your favorite, So, but shout out to all these top tier great comedians. But the rest of the world said their favorite stand-up comedian on this list is Bernie Mac. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Make sure y'all tap into the membership portion of the page. We got different memberships, different access, and make sure y'all tap in. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share button, that all notification bell. Just never know when I'm gonna pop out throughout the week because I do so very often. So again, can help continue to support the show. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We just got over a little over 11,000 subscribers. So again, your support is needed and necessary, and we appreciate it 100%. A shout out to Think Again in the building. Cat Williams and Dave Chappelle. The Cat Williams and Dave Chappelle are some bad boys, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. Everybody on this list is comedic giants, stand-up giants. This just comes down to who's your favorite on this list. You know what I mean? So none of these guys are mid. None of these guys are alright to me. All these guys are bust your gut funny in their own way. You know, that they have their own way on how they do their thing on stage. So shout out to all these great comedians. All right, so moving on to our next segment, Hollywood Need to Ask Us. I came up with the segment because Hollywood has just given us movies we didn't even ask for. It gives no interest, no intrigue, just new era, same movie over again. No, no, they don't further the story along. So I got better ideas for movies or movie series. All right, so for Hollywood Need to Ask Us on this episode, I would love to see a new murder mystery type of thriller movie. You could induct some sort of comedy in it as well, but it's not a comedy. It's murder mystery, right? And I need great actors for this particular movie. So I'm going to enlist, I know I'm going to tear this brother name up, Chichikwa Odaford. Y'all probably know him for playing in movies like The Brothers or Four Brothers, where he plays Victor Sweet, 12 Years a Slaves. You know, his catalog is crazy, but he's an amazing actor. So I would love to have him in this movie. Also starring Amari Hardwick, Journey Smollett. I'm gonna go with the comedian Corey Holcomb. I feel like he has the ability to act and and bring the funny in a thriller, you know, movie of this style. So that's my curveball. And then I'm gonna throw in Russell Hornsby. Y'all probably know Russell Hornsby for playing the father on the BMF, where he's played in other stuff. He's in one of my favorite shows of all times. You know, back in the day. You know what I'm saying, with Lincoln Heights. Also, I'm going to I want on the cast Dominique Thorne. And I'm gonna go with Melissa L. Williams. Y'all probably know Dominique Thorne for playing. She's the Ironheart. She plays the Ironheart character. And Melissa L. Williams, she plays in a Tyler Perry show called Ruthless. These are really, really good, great young actress that I would love for this type of style of movie. So I think this would be fire. Again, a murder mystery, thriller style, a little comedy. Cause anytime you got melanation in the movie, it's dealing with some sort of murder. We gonna do things that's like natural, but it's gonna be funny to us. Like if we see a dead body, we the type of people that's not gonna go investigating. We not gonna like, what's going on? We not gonna go look for hear the sounds and go follow the sounds. No, we getting up out of there. So that would be funny in itself. So I would love to see, like I said, a murder mystery thriller with these great actors. I think it would be absolute fire in this type of style of movie. Shout out to K Dot in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. If you're here to support, we love to have you. If you're here to be ignorant, this is not the show for that. So if you're here to support, love to have you. You better change your tone and tune, because we don't play that over here at all. All right. So I think this would be an absolute fire movie. So that's my Hollywood Need to Ask Us for this episode. To actually change is worth more than. Let them know, T. Let them know, T. Let them know, T. Let them know, T. Let them know. And again, y'all. Appreciate y'all tapping in tonight. This is my birthday tonight, so again, I'm here to have a great time. And like I said, if you're here to support, the support is welcomed and necessary and needed. Shout out to Bam One in the building. What's the stream about? I just got here. If this is your first time tapping in, I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. This podcast is about everything. We talk about everything here: sports, social commentary, movies, music. We talk about everything here. So just sit back and enjoy the ride. You know what I'm saying? This is backyard barbecue, and this is where we at. This is what we doing tonight. Well, every Thursday, every Sunday at 10:30. All right, y'all. Moving on to our must-see segment. Y'all know I'm gonna give y'all 3 must-see movies that y'all have to tap into. We on episode 177. So for 177 episodes, I've been giving y'all fire must-see movies. I pride myself on naming movies that y'all have never even seen. So my 3 must-see movies tonight. Number 1 came out in 2008, directed by Matt Reeves. This stars Lizzie Kaplan, Jessica, Jessica, Jessica Lucas, Mike Vigo, T.J. Miller, and Odinette Annabelle. This movie is called Cloverville. Fire must see movie. This movie is about some friends getting together for a party because one particular friend had to watch the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap in to see Cloverfield. It's a whole bunch of curveballs in Cloverfield, so make sure y'all tap in. My second must-see movie came out in 1997, directed by Roger Donaldson. This stars Pierce Bronson, Linda Hamilton, Jamie R. Smith, Jeremy Fowler, Charles Halloran. This movie is called Dante's Peak. Fire classic movie. Fire classic movie. This is about a particular area in space where it's like it's a particular area where people live, and it's the number one place in the world in the U.S. And you have to watch the rest of the movie. It's a fire movie, so make sure y'all tap in to see Dante's Peak. Last and final must-see movie came out in 2023. This movie directed by Diamond Vartan. This movie stars Tajan Nal, Bella Dane, Elaine Ben Ali, uh, Matthias Schwarzenegger, and Joshua Kentara. This movie is called Girl, You Know It's True. It's actually a biopic movie about the group Milli Vanilli. If y'all don't remember Milli Vanilli, back in the late 80s, early 90s, in that particular time, they was as hot as fish grease. Like Michael Jackson was up here, Milli Vanilli was like you know what I'm saying. They was I don't want to say they was close to MJ. I'm talking about as far as fame, not we're not talking about talent, but as far as fame, they was like the biggest thing cooking at that time, and it's a biopic on their rise and their demise. So make sure y'all check out the movie Girl, You Know It's True. So my 3 movies again: 1, Cloverville; 2, Dante's Peak; 3, Girl, You Know It's True. So make sure y'all tap into those movies. Fire movie. Uh, and it gave me a newfound respect on Milli Vanilli and their legacy. All right, so moving on to our next must hear music. Must put these 3 songs on your playlist. Y'all know how I do with the music. Great vibrations, whether it's R&B or hip hop, whether it's new or whether it's old. So I'm gonna give y'all some fire music to put on your playlist. My featured artist tonight is the artist Fabulous. I'm gonna highlight the movie. I'm gonna highlight his album Real Talk. Make sure you put these 3 songs from the album Real Talk on your playlist. Fire, especially for my hip hop fans. Number 1, Do the Damn Thing featuring Jeezy, Young Jeezy. Fire song, fire classic song. Number 2, Breathe. Number 3, Baby featuring Mike Shirley. When that song came out, it was hot as fish grease. It's still fire. It's fire song. So make sure y'all put those 3 songs on your playlist again by Fabulous off the Real Talk album. Again, number 1, Do the Damn Thing featuring Young Jeezy. Number 2, Breathe. Number 3, Baby, featuring Mike Shirley. So make sure y'all put those on your playlist by Fabulous. Fire songs. Shout out to Ali. I can't sing. It's all good, my brother. It's all good. All right, y'all. Moving on to our must read. Y'all know I give y'all something to read every episode as well. So my must read is more so for kids, meaning a lot of parents out there, and this is no diss of no parents, but a lot of parents out there is letting the internet and television raise your kids. Take it kind of old school style. Give them an old school approach a little bit, and have them read books. They're gonna be way more advanced, having the ability to read books, pick up books to read, and also being able to get on the internet. So my must read is for parents for their kids. Okay, so this book is called Make Your Own Money: How Kids Earn It, Save It, Spend It, and Dream It. Great book to read, especially for kids learning how to build their own and save their own money. This book is by Ty Allen Jackson. Great book, a great read. Again, the book is called Make Your Own Money: How Kids Earn It, Save It, Spend It, and Dream It. So make sure y'all tap in and make sure you put those books in your kids' hands as well. All right, y'all, moving on. Y'all already know what time it is. It's the send them to turkey or nah segment. Send them to turkey or nah. Y'all already know how I do in the chat. Y'all either type in those T's or y'all type in those N's to send them to turkey or nah. So let me know what y'all think in the chat. Send them to turkey or nah. First one of the night. Did y'all know if you have over $4,200 in your bank account right now, that means you're richer than 50% of the population in the US right now? Did you know that? This is off the Census Bureau. If you have over $4,200 in your bank account, that means you don't got no bills. It's just $4,200. This is all after bills, after assets. $4,200 in your bank account right now. You're richer than 50% of the U.S. population. Are we going to send that to Turkey or not? Are we going to send that to Turkey or not? Let me know what y'all think in the chat, because I think that's interesting. 4,200. Now imagine if $4,200 is richer than 50% of the population right now. So if you're in upwards at 50,000, that means you're richer than maybe like 87%. Don't have something like 100,000, then you'll be richer than probably 97% of the population. Like it's crazy. So me personally, I'm going to send this notion. I'm not going to send this to Turkey. I'm not sending this notion to Turkey. I actually believe that, because people are out here and it's getting nasty. You can see it within the prices is going down as far as rental prices, because you're having people like renters, people who are leasing and have homes or apartments available. They rather make some money than no money. And because people are losing their jobs, they're losing access, they are lowering the rent rates, believe it or not. The housing market is going to crash because, again, if you don't have people making a certain amount of money, then you're not going to have people that's looking to buy homes. There's no incentive to buying homes if people are not making money. So I believe that. I'm not going to send that notion to Turkey at all. Shout out to Zom in the building. My ish is at 16 cent. I'm broke as F. I mean, I don't know if you cracking the joke or not. Because some of y'all be funny on here. So I don't know if you being facetious when you say that, but it, like, people are really going through a financial crunch. You seeing people avoiding paying rent by moving back home, by moving back in with mom and dad or an auntie or cousin, or doubling up. Like even in Orlando, right? They market apartments as like roommates. So you could look at a rate and the rate would be like $800, and you're like, oh snap, $800 for 4 bedrooms? Damn, that's a good price. And when you get there, it's like, nah, it's $800 for your room. You share the bathroom and you share the kitchen. It's like, damn, and this is for one apartment. So you have to have roommates. So I just thought it was interesting that they even market it that way. You know what I mean? Because again, they rather make some money than no money. So, so we're going to see that. Shout out to Zom again. Nah, bro, bills paid, food in the fridge, but no play money no more. Nah, I definitely get that. I definitely, like, a lot of people like to boast about, how much money they have and this, that, and the third. And if you have it, cool, right? But most people that really have it don't boast like that, because you don't want people to know you got, some money in your pocket. That's how you could like tell when people boast about money, in my opinion. That's just my opinion only. So yeah. Um, and then and for the ones that do boast and that have money, the reason why they boast on it, that people that have money or whatever the case may be, because they never had it before. So they want everybody to know I got some money. Shout out to James in the building. Long time since you've been 18, bro. Uh, yeah, bro, you dress like you're 18. Uh, hey, that's your opinion, my friend. I didn't know dressing had an age limit. But you're super weird for trying to age me out on the clothes that I like to wear. So yeah, that's super weird, James. But appreciate you tapping in. Hit that like button. Hit them hearts. Don't But I appreciate you tapping in. You can't tell me how to dress. So that's just weird. I don't understand dudes that do that. Like that's just weird to me. Super weirdo. All right, y'all. So yeah, so I just thought that was crazy. So all it takes is $4,200 for you to have more money than 50% of the population. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's all it takes. And again, this is after bills. This is after assets. $4,200. You're richer than 50% of the population. So I'm not going to send that to Turkey. Shout out to Ali in the building again. My dog Ali in the building, holding it down. James don't see his country, Jimmy Dean. Ali's hilarious. All right, moving on to our next one. Are we sending this to Turkey or not? Sending this to Turkey or not? Again, if you're sending it to Turkey, type in T. If you're not sending it to Turkey, type in N. All right, y'all. So send them to Turkey or not. All right. So a mysterious person in all black was caught stalking people in New York City. Are we sending that to Turkey or not? Are we sending that to Turkey or not? Me personally, I'm gonna send this to Turkey. I'm sending this to Turkey all the way, all the way. Like, the reason why I'm sending this to Turkey, because New York City is not the type of place you want to play around like that. People like to say, "Oh, New York City not gangster and this, that, and the third." New York City people just we don't do like, so basically. I seen the picture, I seen the clip. The guy is dressed as the guy from I Know What You Did Last Summer, and he's gonna mess around and lose his life playing like that. I remember about 10 years ago, there used to be guys that would go to bad neighborhoods and do these terrible pranks, like walk up to random guys and pull their cell phone out the back of their pockets, or ask if they got beef or something like that. And it didn't end well. It did not end well at all. So if this person is playing a prank or is really dead serious doing this is not going to end well. He's going to end up getting clapped, like seriously. And people will risk it all if they feel scared enough to do that. And best believe, if something happens to that person, that crime will probably go unsolved. because the police probably look at it like, yo, you doing us a favor because you're an idiot for doing something like that in a place like this. New York is the type of place where, and I don't condone, people being murdered, but when you have like, this is idiotic. So when an idiotic crime of this magnitude happens, they're not gonna look for the killer in this regard. I can guarantee you that if this was to happen, if somebody claps this man, if he continues to go out, which will happen, nobody's gonna go out to look for the killer as far as police officers. I guarantee that. I guarantee that. You're doing them a favor. I guarantee that. So I'm just letting y'all know. Like, so whoever the dude is, I implore you to stop. It's not the place to do that. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. Shout out to Joey in the building. Appreciate you tapping in, Brooklyn in the Mofo house. You already know. Brooklyn connection, my Brooklyn brother. You already know. You already know. We got Brooklyn, some more Brooklyn action in the building, man. Shout out to Randy in the building. Thank you, Ashley, for supporting Diddy. Oh, man. Yo, y'all see my pink tops? Yo, y'all gotta have some pink tops if you're trying to get the mood right. When you get that special lady coming to the crib, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have your pink tops ready and available. You know what I'm saying? It's my birthday today, so you already know a little later on, a little pink top action, you know what I'm saying? Gotta have your pink tops. Take that edition. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see the pink tops. Oh my God, you stupid. You stupid. Shout out to you remember the clowns. Shout out to Anthony in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. This is Anthony from Baltimore, Maryland. That movie comes out tomorrow, bro. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yes, the new version comes out tomorrow. Yep, absolutely. Especially, bro, when those hoppers be wearing those face masks in the summertime. And this is Anthony from Baltimore. Yeah, I mean, that's a fact. I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Like, you know who to pull it with when it comes to, like, like the face mask thing is not safe, but it's also it's still kind of a little different. You got a dude that's in full dress, full slicker boots, and just walking and walking down random people. Again, New York City's the type of place you could lose your life and nobody would bat an eye. I don't think people get it until they actually go to New York City. Like, somebody could literally be on the curb bleeding and people will just walk like over top of them, like, and just like, oh, all right, somebody better call the cops. But they gonna be walking about their business. Like, New York City is that type of place. Is that busy. It's literally that busy. I kid you not. You won't believe it until you experience something like that. Seriously. New York City, New Yorkers are nosy though. You know what I'm saying? You gonna see the scoop, but they not stopping and helping you. Oh, what happened? Nah, we are. Gotta be on your P's and Q's, bro. So again, if there's a dude that's actually doing this with the footage shows that he is, I implore him to stop. Don't continue to do this. Most definitely, bro. I seriously believe you on that. I'm telling you, like, it really is. New York City is really like that. You would lose your life and nobody would care. Everybody would just keep walking. So whoever do this, stop. All right, y'all, moving on to our next one. Send them to Turkey or not. The Ohio State Buckeyes, the Ohio Buckeyes schedule has been released, and by many experts, they predict them to go 12-0. Let's go through this schedule real quick, y'all. So are we sending the 12-0 notion to Turkey or nah? Sending it to Turkey or nah? Again, type in T in the chat, type it in if we not sending it to Turkey. If we not, if you believe they're going 12-0, then no. If they are going 12-0, if they're not going 12-0, then we sending it to Turkey. Tell them to come and visit and see. People don't no Ali. People don't want to see. A lot of people like to talk bad about New York, like, oh, New York ain't that tough. Da 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 da. It's not about being tough, and that's the mindset that people have about New York, is that they got to break this stuff out of. It's not about being tough. It's more so about everybody doing their own thing. That's what it's really about. It has nothing to do with being tough. So because everybody's doing their own thing, they could care less if something good or bad was to happen. Like, y'all know who Al Pacino is? He's pretty important, right? I kid you not. In Manhattan, you see Al Pacino walking around and nobody cares. I used to see J. Cole. J. Cole is pretty important, right? Riding a bicycle down, what's that, Broadway Avenue? Nobody would care at all. Like, oh, that's J. Cole. Who? Who that? I don't know that guy. How you don't know who J. Cole is? People do not care in New York City. So that's why I say that everybody be on their own bop. One of my favorite actors I seen in New York City, I don't know if y'all remember Pierce Walker. No, Ricky Pierce. I'm getting his name missed, but I know it's Pierce. He played Bunk in The Wire. And I seen him in the street. I'm like, oh, you the Bunk. And he smiled right back like, yeah, what's up, bro? And everybody was looking at me like, who was that? Like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? With a cab at. Like, everybody's doing their own thing. I say all that to say that. Shout out to Damon. Same with Adam Sandler. That's a fact. Adam Sandler, again, if he's walking in New York City, nobody's going to stop him. They just going to let him be. He'll go get his coffee. He'll chill. People are like, oh, that's Adam Sandler. And he won't have to break a sweat. He won't have to stop and shake hands, kiss babies, none of that. Because New York City people don't care. I'm telling you. The only person that I literally think that would have shut down New York City regardless, not the only person, but like, obviously, like Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, you know, like those type of, you know, celebrities. You know what I'm saying? That's very rare air, right? You know what I'm saying? So, and even that is like, you know what I mean? So, you get my point. I made my point. All right, y'all. So the Ohio State Buckeyes schedule, the you know, the analysts said that they will go 12-0. So let's go through this schedule real quick. They got Texas as a game 1 opener. Ohio State is a really good team. They got probably the best 1 and 2 players in the country. I won't be surprised if they beat Texas in that game opener, but I won't be surprised if Texas beat them. Ohio State got to play Texas, I believe, is a neutral site. If there's not a neutral site, then they play at Texas because it's a Texas home game. So I'm going to go with Texas for this game. I'm going to go with Texas. For some reason, Ohio State doesn't play great in their first game of the season, especially when it's a big out-of-conference game. Years ago, they struggled with Oregon before they joined the Big Ten. So, you know, I think it's going to bode well for Texas. Texas is one of those teams that expected to make the playoffs. Arch Manning is going to be coming into his own this year. So I think Ohio State will struggle and lose that game. The next game, they play Grambling. I don't don't even know how Ohio State schedules Grambling. That's not even fair to Grambling. It doesn't even make sense, to be honest with you. It doesn't, especially after Texas. You would think you would play Grambling first, then Texas to like warm up? Nah. So they beat Grambling. They're going to beat the brakes off of Grambling. They're going to beat Ohio. There's a university called Ohio. There's Ohio and Ohio State. So they're going to beat Ohio. They're going to beat Washington. They're going to beat Minnesota. Illinois is going to be a tough game. Illinois is going to be a tough game at Illinois. That game is going to be probably a field goal game. But I'm going to go Ohio State for that game. They play at Wisconsin. They're going to beat the brakes off of Wisconsin. They play Penn State at home. People got Penn State regarded real high. They're going to be a good team, but I don't have them at the highest because I don't. Drew Aller is a good quarterback, but he's not. I don't want to diss the young man because he still got time to improve his game. Based on what I've seen, I don't see the wow factor, so I think Ohio State wins that game. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. They're gonna beat the brakes off Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers. So they've having a pretty good year. So far I have them going 10-2, because you know I got them losing to Texas, and you know I got them losing to my boys. Go blue. You already know my Michigan Wolverines. We're going to spank that ass for the 5th time in a row. That's how we get down. So I got Ohio State going 10-2, losing to Texas, losing to Michigan. The rest of the world got them going 12-0. So that's how I got it. Texas scared to play at night, game 1. Again, Caleb, this is the Arch Manning era. They got Arch Manning to be the second coming. That's how they building it up. If he plays anywhere near that, his teammates is going to be playing outside their mind. Mind you, Texas has a great team. Let's not mistake that. So you saying they scared to play at night? I don't know, man. This team may be different. It may be different. Anytime Texas has a great quarterback, like a really great quarterback, they always damn near go undefeated. They always have a really great season. They always play in the national championship or for a national championship. Always. Anytime they have a great quarterback. So I'm gonna leave it at that. So I'm sending that notion to Turkey that Ohio State is going 12-0. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. You already know what time it is. It's time to wrap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps. Again, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. First hot topic of the night. They've been talking about this all day. I don't know how true it is, but they've been talking about it on ESPN. They saying this will more likely happen. So we more likely see LeBron James on the move again. I don't believe he's going to be on the move. It makes no sense to pull the power play that he did last year, bringing his son to the Lakers, now having Luka and their style of play together. I just don't see them moving on. There's just too many moving pieces for LeBron James to move on, in my opinion. But we could see LeBron James on the move, and they said that the top suitor is the Dallas Mavericks. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I just thought that was very interesting because their team would look like Cooper Flag, LeBron James, Kyrie, Derek Lively, Clay, and Anthony Davis. So basically, if the Dallas Mavericks could keep that core, bring in LeBron and whoever else the Lakers ask for, they willing to move up on anybody else. But those core guys, it's not going to happen. So more than likely, they're saying more than likely that this will happen. I don't believe so, but this is the NBA. This is the NBA. The NBA has a way of making trades that make absolutely no basketball sense at all. Whatsoever. Don't even see how it makes the team better or any case of, like, even the whole thing with Luka going to the Lakers made no sense. Because again, they had other teams that could have gave the Mavericks a way better package as far as, trades. But they just had to make that trade to the Lakers. So again, there's a vested interest in keeping that Laker brand relevant. And I think, in my opinion, that it won't happen, but these analysts saying that it will happen. So Why did Damian Lillard go back to Portland? That's a good question. I actually have that written down. I'm gonna cover that in a few. But I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Shout out to Riston in the building. Appreciate you tapping in, man. But yeah, so if this do happen, if you have LeBron James going to Dallas, going to a Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, a young Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, this team right here, as veteran and young and balanced as they are, this team will make a deep playoff run. They will do that because all these guys have experience in deep playoff situations. So outside of Cooper Flag, which he's kind of going to gain the cheat sheet because he's learning from all these different veterans on how to win and how to win big in playoffs. So I think this could actually happen in a sense as far as them going deep in the playoffs if this was the trade to get pulled off, me personally. I highly regard this trade, if it does happen, than the Houston trade. Like everybody, was so geeked up with Kevin Durant going to Houston, but I don't feel like it got it made them any better. To be honest with you, like Durant is a walking bucket. He's a walking bucket, but that team would have been much different if they was able to keep Green and Dylan Brooks. Being that they kept the other pieces, guys are good players. I just don't think it's going to fit. I don't think it's a good fit. I like Kevin Durant at this stage of his career at the stretch four more so than the three because for some reason, the last time I seen him, well, not the last time I seen him, anytime I watch Kevin Durant play against smaller guys, they don't have a problem stealing the ball from him. He's very rippable at this point in time against smaller defenders. He can still shoot over them. Kevin Durant is still a walking bucket, but I don't think, even with Kevin Durant bringing 29, 30 points a game to the Houston Rockets, I don't think those other guys is going to give what's needed for them to go on to the next step. Because again, in order for them to go on to the next step, they have to play and beat against teams like OKC, Denver, Timberwolves. I still don't think they have anything to do they could do with the Timberwolves because Anthony Davis is just a mismatch. Period, point blank. Ain't nothing you can do about Anthony Davis if you're the Houston Rockets, in my opinion. And that's basically for what I've seen. You're not going to be OKC. Ain't nobody could deal with SGA. Nobody. Nobody. Nobody on the Rockets could deal with him. I don't care if they feel the type of way or not. I'm going based on what I've seen. Because this is not personal. This is only basketball. Based on what I've seen on the court, ain't nobody could deal with SGA. Nobody. So, and then when you talk about Denver, who does Houston have that could deal with Jokic in the post? High post. Pick and roll. ISO. Nobody. Nobody. So I don't see it. So I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. But again, I give my sport takes based on what I see and not how I feel. Sengun is a great player, but we seen what Sengun look like against Jokic. Jokic be treating these dudes like they junior high school players. Let's keep it funky, bro. Let's keep it funky. Jokic game line against Houston, especially Sengun. Bro, 30, 18, 12. 30, 18, 12. He said I seen it just joking. Okay, my bad. I seen it just joking. My bad. But yeah, like, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Again, Houston's going to have a good team. They made trades after that trade that's going to make them even more fortified. But I don't see them getting any better with Kevin Durant, mainly because they lose out on Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. Um, and I like the young kid Thompson. He has his defense is crazy. Defense is crazy. But you're gonna ask him to make jump shots, and he's not a jump shot maker. He's not a jump shot maker. Uh, I'm a Spurs fan. I hope they do better next season. Mm. I will say this about the Spurs. If they keep their team together, they let them young guys develop, the Spurs could be what the Spurs used to be. Meaning Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Ginobili, and then the other guys who just cook your ass, even though they're not big name guys. The Spurs have that type of makeup right now. When you think of, obviously Wemby, and people used to kill me for Wemby because I was a big like, yo, Wemby, just give him time to develop. All my homeboys be like, yo, what's up with your boy Wemby? I thought he was gonna be nice. I thought he was gonna be, bro. He 18, 19. Like, you gotta give him a chance to cook, get his feet set. Can he take a couple of shits before he, you know what I'm saying? Before he get his feet wet, damn. And now cooking. So him as your foundation. I love what they did in the draft. They end up getting Ron Harper's son, Dylan Harper, great player. They also got the point guard DeAnthony Fox. They got a nice solid core, and they got another. The Spurs, y'all draft picks was what I wanted Brooklyn to have. I wanted Brooklyn to trade 5 of those draft picks to get y'all draft picks. The other kid from Arizona, his defense is crazy, and he could guard anything from 1 to 4. Defense is crazy, but I like our draft on Brooklyn, but still, you know what I'm saying. Carter Bryant, his motor's crazy. So, you know, y'all looking good. Y'all looking good with that. Again, if they let that core develop, let them look terrible, let them look ugly some nights, but let them develop. Let them, you know what I'm saying? Let them build. Let them make mistakes, and let them come together and triumph together. I think they would have a really good team. But with this LeBron James that could potentially end up in Dallas, I don't think it's going to happen. The analyst said it's going to happen. So you already know NBA politics trumps everything else. They got their own rules in the NBA. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. They're saying the card game, Uno, will now be added to the tables to the casino in Las Vegas. All my Uno players, hold on one second, because I know y'all smiling, and I know y'all thinking y'all finna win some money on. Hold on. Now, I've been playing Uno all my life. There's not one game of Uno that I've played that people haven't played with their own rules. I implore you, before you go to Vegas, y'all, thinking y'all gonna win some money on some Uno, learn the real rules of the game first. Because there's certain things in the game that we just, in our friend groups and our friend circle, now this is da 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 da. Nah, they not doing that in Vegas. Vegas, they playing the way it's supposed to be played, and you're gonna mess around and lose a lot of money. So learn the actual game. Know when you throw a draw 2, you're supposed to draw the 2. You can't challenge it. That's in the actual rule book, y'all. I know the hood way. You throw a draw 2, I throw a draw 2. Oh, you think I'm gonna throw another draw 2? Fool, I got a draw 2. I got something for you. Throw that draw 4, and before you know it, the game done changed. Nah, when you throw out a draw 2, you got to draw those 2s. When you throw out a draw 4, you got to throw out that draw 4. You can't challenge it. So learn the game before y'all go to Vegas thinking y'all going to win y'all some money on playing the hood way. Because they not going to play the hood way, and you're not going to get away with it in Vegas. You're just not. Vegas card games is serious. My one time that I sat down to play, a couple of card games in Vegas one time, I literally lost like $600 in a matter of 5 minutes. Yes, very real. Yes, not my finest moment. I kindly got myself up, kept pushing. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta know. You just gotta know when to go. You just gotta know when it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold. I fold. I had to go. You know what I'm saying? Slots all the way, baby. I'm trying to tell you, man. But the only thing about the slots, the penny slots, they tricky. Cause you sit there and you sit there and you hit for 450 and you think it's $450. It's $4.45. You know what I'm saying? It's like chill, you're gonna win all these pennies. You know what I'm saying? Take all your pennies to the booth, cash out, you basically win you some coffee. You know what I'm saying? So winning big money in Vegas is definitely the sports gambling route. Don't ask me how I know, but that's definitely where the big money un's at. You know what I'm saying? If you nice with the cards, you nice with the cards. I'm just saying. Some people have a real green thumb for them penny slots, though. I will say that. I'm known in town to be the queen. Shout out to Karen. I don't ask for respect. I expect it. My home is larger than the street. I have a K on the gate. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Is that your home? It looks messy. This looks messy. The background of my pod looks messy. Oh, okay. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit them likes. Hit them likes. And again, y'all, thank y'all for the birthday love. It is my birthday, so again, appreciate the birthday love as well. Fake Reaper. Okay. Shout out to you. Appreciate you tapping in. He said Fake Reaper. Okay. All right, so moving on to our next hot topic. The new Mortal Kombat movie trailer has dropped. The teaser dropped, and now the trailer, the official trailer, has dropped. So make sure y'all tap in to that. I seen it. For those who did see it, let me know how y'all feel about it in the chat as far as the new Mortal Kombat, thriller that came out. The teaser came out, then the actual, I said thriller, the actual trailer came out. I wasn't crazy about it, to be honest with you, me personally. It looked very cheesy. Very cheesy. And it looks like they redoing it, like they telling the story all over again. And I think that's probably what I get the most frustrated. Is like, all right, y'all flubbed up on these movies prior to, because the first two Mortal Kombats, I was geeked up for because I was much younger. I used to play the game all the time growing up. And they like, man. So now they bringing it back out. Cool. All right, so let's move the story along. Why y'all going to keep retelling the same damn story? And then when y'all retell the same story, it don't feel or look or any better. Like obviously the graphics is fire because, we got today's graphics. But it's like, dog, we still telling the same story. Like, what are we doing? So I'm not enthused to go see it. I'll wait to hit streaming, me personally. But it's going to be a big deal. People are going to talk about it. The movie is coming out and it's dropping in October of this year. So that's basically right around the corner. So that kind of let me know that this movie is going to be trash. For a movie franchise to be as big as Mortal Kombat is dropping trailers in July for a movie in October. You would think a movie of this magnitude would be dropping this movie in February to get people that excited. Like, yo, Mortal Kombat coming out in February. We got to wait a whole, a whole 6-7 months before we see it. And the fact that it's coming out in 3 months from now is like, yo, yeah, this movie is going to be trash. That's how I really feel. It's like they're going to get people excited so quick because it's coming out right around the corner, and it's not going to be what people think. Shout out to Elliot in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Yo, bro, you feeling tired? Look, sound, energy. Okay, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit them likes. Hit them 100s. Hit them likes. Hit them 100s. Appreciate you tapping in. But yes. So again, after seeing the trailer, I'm not too enthused on seeing the movie. When I finally do see it on stream, I hope it's way better than what I anticipate. Because I'm such a fan of the video game, and the potential of what it can be is is just limitless, man. Like that's the one thing I love about when they bring these movies to life, because it's a movie, right? But the thing that I hate is that they fumble the bag on these movies so terribly. Like one of the franchises that I wish that would bring out the movies, because they have so many villains, and villains that people know and care for, is Dragon Ball Z, right? They got so many top level villains, but I'm so afraid that they're gonna flub the movie up. Like, if y'all remember that first Dragon Ball Z, it was god awful. Now I've seen people put together with their own money, very small budget, Dragon Ball Z, and it's actually fire. So I couldn't imagine those people having the access of, of $400 million or something like that. When they said, "Hey, we did this with 4,000," and it came out kind of fire, right? So I'll be so afraid when these franchises that people love and hold near and dear, and they get these, they get these franchises, and it just be terrible. So I'm not enthused to see this new Mortal Kombat. I hope it's better than what it looked in the trailer and in the teaser. But it just looked like they just retelling the same story. A shout out to Steve in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Do you appreciate the change from Negro to Black? Shout out to Steve. Shout out to Steve. Appreciate you tapping in. Uh, that question alone, Steve. For those who do watch the show, I don't refer to my people or myself as black, because we're not 3/5 of people. I don't come from 3/5 of people, and I'm not 3/5 of a person myself. So as long as we address ourselves as black people, we're giving ourselves names that we didn't give ourselves. So basically, we didn't give ourselves black, we didn't give ourselves Negro, we didn't give ourselves color. If we continue to adapt and take on the names that are given to us, we will never tap into our true lineage and access from this country. So I hope that answers your question, Steve. Appreciate you tapping in. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Shador Sanders. Shador Sanders, he's been commissioned over $14 million after his jersey sales has eclipsed over 250 million in sales alone. That's big time, y'all. That's big time. I've never seen somebody get so much hate off the back like this, and all this kid has ever done was do his very best. He's helped made programs better than what they was prior to him being there, and these programs was terrible before he got there. And based on how he moves, his teammates respond to him, the community responds to him. So his type of leadership is infectious. So the fact that people are supporting him and continues, he did 250 million in jersey sales, and he still didn't get none of my money yet. I honestly thought that he was gonna go back to the number 2. I realized he's not gonna go back to the number 2. He's gonna keep 12, and this is the number he didn't ask for. They gave him this number. So I'm just going to go ahead, bite the bullet, and get the 12 Shador Sanders jersey. I was hoping that he was going to go back to the 2, because Cleveland gave that number to a player who's more so like a travel type player. not necessarily a franchise guy. So I thought at some point that they would give him number 2. But then they not. So even with the number 12, his jersey sales amassed over 250 million, making his jersey the number 1 jersey in the NFL, which is big time. I gotta get that Browns 12 jersey just to support. So that's actually pretty fire for a 5th round pick. A 5th round pick for his jersey sales to amass that amount, for him to be that popular. There's something about Shedeur Sanders that resonate with people in a positive manner, positive way, on and off the field. So I'm going to continue to support. Obviously, everybody else is supporting him as well. He also did something real dope in the Cleveland area. There was some things that happened in that particular area that was very detrimental to the local community, and he threw a whole event, giveaways, food, party. Like, they had like a party, and the people in that area really appreciated it. And he looked out, spent time with the kids. I mean, just dope, man. Just dope. And I'm gonna continue to support him myself. And it's great that he's ingratiating himself in the community like that. That's pretty dope. But him amassing over $250 million in jersey sales. He's only been in the NFL for 3 months. That's crazy. That's crazy. I've never seen a player amass that type of jersey sales in that little time. And I've seen great players. I've seen the Reggie Bushes. I've seen the Vince Youngs. I've seen the Tim Tebows. These are great players, right? But none of them in this little time. Even I remember when Johnny Manziel came out of college, he was hot as fish grease. Johnny Football. Loved to party all the time. Didn't amass this. Not in this little time. The draft was just in April. We're in July. So shout out to Shedeur for this major accomplishment. And I hope he continue much more success. Shout out to Solo in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. My New Orleans Saints should have drafted Sanders. That is a fact. That is a fact. The guy that y'all drafted, I don't want to speak bad about that kid. I really wish him all the best. But we know for a fact, if they was on the same team, he would not start over no Shedeur. We know that for a fact. And what's crazy, like, I've been to New Orleans quite a few times. New Orleans is a real city, dog. Right? As you know. That's a real city, dog. New Orleans fans support the Saints, bro. At least the organization could have did was bring in a guy that the community believed in. Bring in that guy. When you in New Orleans, it's the Saints versus the world. I kid you not. I've been there quite a few times. Had a great time every time. Got some beautiful women, though. You know what I'm saying? They very natural. Very, nice. Good times. You know what I'm saying? But should have got Sanders. That number 2 in the Saints jersey would have been fire. Would have been fire. So I agree with you. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Travis Hunter is the first signed athlete to A&P Kai Cenat Crew A&P, their skincare brand called Tone. He's their first athlete, signature athlete that's signed to their skincare brand called Tone. I think that's a huge accomplishment where in the space of streaming, podcasting, creative, whatever you want to call it, the fact that they amass so much attention, the brand in itself is one of the biggest brands in the world as a creative collective, regardless of how you classify them, whether again it's streaming, podcasting creatives. This is huge. Pause. And for them to get a player of his caliber on their brand is big time, and I think this is going to be the first of many. Um, I think it would make sense to probably sign probably like two more athletes, and it depends which type of athletes it is, obviously. But it's obviously going to be the young era, that young energy. That so if they get Travis Hunter for football, I would not be surprised they bring in somebody like uh, a Shea Gilders, Gilders as for basketball or something like that. So I would not be surprised, or the young guy in soccer, or baseball or something like that, like cover all sports. So I think that's actually big time and dope for their brand. So shout out to them for again being able to do something like that on that level and continue much success. A shout out to Marcos in the building. Appreciate you tapping in, man. 50 kicks. Okay, appreciate you tapping in. Again, hit them likes, hit them hearts, hit them likes. It's also my birthday, y'all. It's also my birthday. Big Cancer game in the building, so hit them likes, hit them 100s in the chat, man. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. I don't know if y'all ever heard the group. I suggest y'all watch the movie earlier. The movie called "Girl, You Know It's True" on the Milli Vanilli. It's a Milli Vanilli biopic. For those who don't know, the pop group, the duo Milli Vanilli, back in the late '80s, early '90s, these guys was like real famous artists at that time, and they was kind of like the first of their kind, where they was two singing guys from Germany. They brothers. Well, not brothers as biological, but brothers as in brothers. You know what I'm saying? Dreads or long braids, have that European look, but have that pop style, and their music was actually pretty good. Come to find out that they wasn't singing their records, right? And because of that, the world just, we not rocking with Milli Vanilli. Yeah, y'all some fakers. Y'all finessed us. And I just got a newfound respect for their hustle. Mainly because, like, think about the music business for a second, right? In the late 80s, two German brothers who come from very poor backgrounds, dog. Very poor backgrounds. So you mean to tell me that two brothers from Germany have the ability to finesse the whole world by themselves? No. New different respect for Milli Vanilli. Now they said some things once they got on top that was just straight out of pocket, where they was like, yeah, we better than this artist, we better than that artist. But to their respect, imagine showing up somewhere and people like the way you look. People like the way you dance. What are you supposed to do with that? You're going to be like, nah, I'm cool, chill. And they got some money on for you. So that's them finessing. So the only reason why people even found out that, that they wasn't singing their records, their producer was mad that they actually wanted to sing the records. When their producer met them, the producer fell in love with their look. Ain't never heard them sing. He just looked at these dudes that came to his house and was like, yeah, I got the stars. He loved their look. Young brothers, muscular, long hair. Loved the look. They was like, yeah, the ladies gonna go crazy for these dudes. Their first question was, yo, when do we get in the studio? Their producer was like, yeah, baby, don't worry about none of that, B. We already got the song made. They like, how you get the song made? We ain't get in the studio. Like, we can sing, bro. Like, give us a shot. Yeah, baby. Nah, work out. Go work out. Go work out, baby. So I have a new respect for him because there's no way that, think of poor people from America. Do you know how hard it is for poor people from America to gain access to finesse the world? They can't do it by themselves. So basically, the point that I'm making is that there was a system that supported them. Meaning, so their producer seen them, fell in love with their look, was like, "Yo, we're gonna put y'all, we're gonna do a video. Y'all lip sync the words, and it's cool. We're gonna do a whole album." And they kept asking, "Yo, when do we get in the studio? We want to sing something. We got songs." And they like, "Nah, don't worry about none of that." So they had a whole band singing, making their music. And their producer lost control once they signed a deal with an American label. Once they signed a deal with an American label, Milli Vanilli ended up moving to LA. And so now, because they're from Germany, they no longer have the control. So the producer, to keep control, came out and was like, "Yeah, they not really singing the records. They haven't sung one note on the songs. These songs y'all love." And the rest of the world just like got rid of Milli Vanilli. Like, "Yeah, get out of here." Like they was the only group to ever finesse in the music business. If they found out, so if this particular producer blew it up in the late 80s, the finesse game, think of how many artists that was great from back then that we ain't never really see sing for real. It was always, lipped over, but they look good, or they had the look, or the dance moves, or the packaging, or whatever the case may be. So imagine the people that actually stuck to the script. Imagine the producers, the singers, the background singers, everybody that took their cut and kept it pushing and kept it real profitable around here. Like, "Yo, I don't even need people to know that it's me, baby. It's my vocals. Yeah, y'all can take the vocal. I don't care as long as I get paid." So imagine how many artists that came before them that the music business was able to finesse us as viewers. They've been doing it for years. For years. So I have a newfound respect for Milli Vanilli being in that system. And just like, yo, if we here, we just gonna live it up. Like, yo, if they want to pay us for this, is our job. This is a job. They gonna pay us for this. So I got a new different respect for Milli Vanilli after watching their biopic. Because when they found out, the whole world's like, "Oh, they can't sing, so I'm not gonna support them." You know how many artists is out now that can't sing? If you heard their true vocals, if you heard if you heard some of these artists' true vocals, you would not support it. And there's no diss to them, but I'm calling out the hypocrisy of it. You know how many artists, rap artists, it's not their real voice. It's not their lyrics. They have ghostwriters, and you still hold them up. You still hold them up. So imagine the finesse that haven't been told. So I have a new different respect for Milli Vanilli as a grown adult. When I was a kid, and I was real little when they was popping. I had to be about like 4 when they was popping or whatever. But I remember Milli Vanilli because they was different opposed to what I was used to as far as music. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, and mind you, I had an older brother, so I'm listening to whatever he's listening to. So I have a newfound respect based on the music business, being in the music business myself, being an artist myself, and for the fact that these dudes, Milli Vanilli, had to go through the industry at the time. Again, poor brothers from Germany looking for a way out, trying to put food on the table. So the rest of the world mad at them because they wasn't the ones doing the actual singing and putting the songs together. Mind you, the producer was stealing songs from other people. He was like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. We just gonna remake it. You know what I'm saying? This is our version of it." Like, he's finessing, and now he wants to tell the whole world they finessing. You feel me? Like, it's nasty work out here. So I got a newfound respect for Milli Vanilli. They have some hits, popping songs. So shout out to Milli Vanilli, and rest in peace to one of the guys that did commit suicide from the group. Shout out to Miss Pamela in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. CC Music Factory. Everybody dance now. That's a fact. That's a fact. CC Peniston. Shout out to Hello My Brother. Appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to Drew Peanuts. Appreciate you tapping in. Okay. Don't be weird. Don't be weird, Drew. But appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to When We Will Change. It's the absolute garbage. You should quit. Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate you tapping in. Hey man, I checked out your music as absolute garbage. Yeah, nah, nah, no way. You're trolling. Good try though. Good try. Good try on the troll. Good try on the troll. Yeah. What else we got? And I shout out Soldier Slim in the building. Solo Slim. Shout out to Jose in the building. Jose Maria. Shout out to you. Appreciate you tapping in. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Donovan Mitchell, NBA player. Donovan Mitchell from the Cleveland Cavaliers is engaged to R&B singer Coco Jones. Congratulations to them. Not surprised to see this coming. They've been rumored for dating for some time now, so I'm not surprised that that this actually happened. So shout out to them. Congratulations to them. And good luck, Chuck. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is on his way to the Los Angeles Clippers, y'all. Bradley Beal's on his way to the Los Angeles Clippers, and Damian Lillard is on his way back to Portland. So Bradley Beal first and foremost. So with Bradley Beal, this is a much better situation than Phoenix. I'll tell you that much. James Harden's going to play the 1. He's going to play the 2. Kawhi's going to play the 3. With him on the team, it's kind of tricky because Bradley Beal does have playoff experience, but again, this is not a diss, but I haven't seen Bradley Beal play a full season in quite a while as a starter, and be successful at it as well. He has the scoring ability and prowess to put buckets up any and everywhere. But would he fit in seamlessly with this team? I mean, James Harden is a willing passer. But when it comes to the Clippers, it all comes down to Kawhi. If Kawhi is healthy, the Clippers could beat anybody. If Kawhi is healthy, the Clippers could beat any and everybody in the Western Conference. Kawhi is strong. He's efficient. Both sides of the court. And he's clutch as well. So to me, it comes down to Kawhi. It would be nice to get more out of James Harden in the late parts of the playoffs because for some reason, James Harden will go absolutely berserk in one game, and then the next game, he would just struggle. He would struggle, and he's been like that all through his career. So to get a guy like Bradley Beal, who's more of a steady hand, Bradley Beal is not going to get you like the 50 ball like that, like how James Harden could get you a 50 ball, but he's going to give you a steady, anywhere from 17 to 22 a game. I think that's very believable for a guy like Bradley Beal's skill set. He's one of those high-level scorers like that, in my opinion. But it all comes down to Kawhi Leonard, in my regard, for if they going on to the next level. So that's what I believe in that regard. I'm glad Dame going back to Portland. That's fine. That fits him. I got my Portland jersey of Dame back on. Yeah, so now with Dame going back to Portland, I like it. I honestly thought he was going to end up in Miami. That was my honest opinion, that I thought he was going to end up in Miami. Um, but being that he's back with Portland, this makes sense. In many respects, he should have never left Portland. But how do you miss out on a chance to play with Giannis, to hopefully play for a championship? A guy like Giannis. But they both had injuries. It just never kicked off the way it was supposed to. Middleton was hurt. His game has have to change completely because he stayed hurt as well. So I actually like this move with Bradley Beal going back to Portland. I think this brings a steady veteran, a place where he could actually heal, and there's no real timetable for him to, like, yo, hurry up and heal. We got to make this playoff run. No, he could go back to Portland, heal, bring a veteran leadership to that franchise, back to that franchise, and ingratiate himself with the young guys, and help the young guys get even better by being their best player on their team. Because there's no doubt about it that Dame is the best player on Portland. He's going back to a situation where he's the best player of that team. So I love this for Dame. I think this is going to be a great look for him. And again, this will give him a chance to really heal. And he's comfortable. Because he said it before, he didn't want to leave Portland. And honestly, I didn't believe him when he said that. I'm like, yo, bro, it's Portland. And no diss to Portland, but Portland didn't have the pieces a year prior, and even this year, to make you believe, like, yo, Portland is going to be like, yo, you got to watch out for Portland. So there was nothing about Portland that gave you that type of confidence for Dame. People want to see Dame win, and you don't see a lot of top tier free agents going to Portland. So I actually like that for him going to Portland. Shout out to Ali. No, not really. Not really. He's not the best player on Portland. Let's get that straight. Who you think Brandon Miller? Not Brandon Miller. Is it Brandon Miller, the young boy? No, you think Shaden Sharp is better than Dame? Nah. Don't say that, bro. Don't say that. No. He's a great young player, great talent. But come on. Come on, bro. Come on, man. For real, Dame got love in Portland for the people. Yeah, like, come on. Ali, come on, man. How's he? Don't. Shaden is a great young player. Shaden Sharp, I believe his name is. Great young player. Great young player. Great young player. Shout out to Saeed in the build. Appreciate you tapping in. But yeah, man. Shout out to Byron in the building. Change your name. Change my name? Nah. Ashley's my real name, bro. Yeah, it's my real name. Like, it's my name. You know what I'm saying? My name is my name. What Marlo say in The Wire? My name is my name. You know what I'm saying? I suplex people over my name. You know what I'm saying? Your name is your name. My name is my name. I don't play about mine. My name, don't let the name fool you, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Even on my birthday, don't let the name fool you, bruh. You know what I'm saying? But again, I love the move back to Portland for Damian Lillard. I think this is great for him and his family, and even better move for him. A place where he could go finish his career, and he could still go back to being a top level player. I would pay to change this man's username. Yeah, nah, chill. You gotta understand what the name is. First, my name is my name. That's my birth name. Lovechild is the lover of all music. So if you've never heard my music, then you can't say that, bro. So yeah, man. Tap into it, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I got some fire music, so make sure you tap in. But yeah, so I love that move. And then with Bradley Beal, I like this. I like this for Bradley Beal to some degree. I think Bradley Beal would have probably benefited a little bit more with a younger player, such as a team like Memphis that need more shooters. Ja Morant sucks in that defense. He's going to get nothing but open jump shots, in my opinion. I thought that would have been a better place for Kevin Durant as well. Was Memphis to go play with Ja, because of what Ja is able to do offensively, and he's such a willing passer on top of that. But he's with the Clippers, and we're gonna see how that play out. A shout out to Winston in the building. Appreciate you tapping in, Lamar. Solo, I'm rocking with Alvin Kamara, AK41 jersey, birthday 41. San Francisco 914. I'm going to treat myself to the game, enjoy myself. I feel you, man. You know what's crazy? I turned 41 today myself. I'll turn 41 today myself. So that's what's up. That's what's up. SG, this no hate, but I give up. Start a podcast reaction. Yeah, shout out to Byron. Shout out, he's telling me what I should do. But yeah, but appreciate you. I think Kevin Durant should have went to the Timberwolves. We had that poll up. Should he have went to the Timberwolves? That was my second place that he should have went to. Actually, that was my second place. I had Grizzlies number 1 and Timberwolves number 2. Me personally. Like that's what like Kevin Durant really would like. That's part of the reason why I don't think the fit is seamless in Houston. None of the other guys that he's playing with, no disrespect to them, they're good players, but they don't create well. You're not going to ask the young boy, Thompson to create because he's not a scorer yet. He could be a scorer at some point, but he's not there yet as a scorer. The other kid that the 6'10" player that people say that plays just like him. His name escapes me right now. His father used to play in the league, but he's also a good player, but he's not a creator. Sengun, he can create in the high post, low post, but you're not going to double Sengun to stop Sengun over Kevin Durant. So, come on, Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant. To me, those are no-brainers. You go there to places where people create first, and then he could get his shine on. So, I thought that would have been more beneficial to him, me personally. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, our Keep the Lie Live segment. So my Keep the Lie Live for this episode is, as a culture, we have to learn culture. Like, I'm seeing too much where new eras don't know about previous eras. I'm just from the mindset and the background, when you do something, you learn the culture of doing something before you do it. So you have something to aspire to. So, point that I'm making, we talked about sports tonight, right? It's weird to me that you could play a sport and you don't know who Michael Jordan is. You don't know who Kobe Bryant is, or Magic Johnson, or Larry Bird, or Charles Barkley. You don't know you don't know the culture before you fully ingratiate yourself into something. Whereas, like, you're playing something that you love, but you don't have nothing to shoot for. I don't know. Maybe I just come of the mindset, anything that I'm great at, I'm always shooting for something. Even as an artist, my favorite artist still to this day, as far as an artist, is Jay-Z. He's one of my favorite rappers in the world. Some of my favorite rappers is Jay-Z, Jadakiss, Styles P. I could go on for several more. Raekwon the Chef. These are some of my favorite artists and favorite lyricists. So Coogee rap. So when I rap, it gives me something to shoot for as a lyricist, as a rapper. So it just puzzles me when I see people that get in the culture, get into music, get into sports, and you don't know the people that come before you. That's crazy to me. You have to know culture. It's a part of it. Like even when I was a kid, and obviously when I was a kid, I didn't know I was going to end up being an artist, but I know who Patti LaBelle is. I know who, all these Ray Charles and all these older artists. I'm not in their era. My grandparents is barely in their era. You see what I'm saying? So, but because I've come up in the culture, I know who Luther Vandross is. I know who Dionne Warwick is. I also played sports growing. That's what I did before I got into music. I played football, basketball, and I boxed. So I knew who the older guard of people was because it's a part of the culture. It's also, a part of something to shoot for, to look forward to something, to aim to something. When I went to high school to play high school football, and I was recruited to this particular school, my very first question is, who led the school in scoring in basketball? Who led the school in touchdowns in football? For basketball, it was Bernard King. When you walk into my high school, shout out to Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn, you see nothing of Bernard King's jersey, the points that he dropped, buckets in, the whole nine. It's like, yeah, I'm shooting for that. Who scored the most touchdowns? I'm shooting for that. So I just don't understand. And then again, it's not my era. You see what I'm saying? But I respect the culture so much that I'm going to educate myself on something that I'm doing. And that's in any and everything. Not just in sports, not just in music, but also in business. When you join a business, when you have a business, you give yourself something to aim for. You say, yo, instead of doing $100 in business, I want to do 1,000 in business. All right, we got comfortable doing 1,000 in business. Let's see if we could do 1,000 in business every day. Let's see if we could do 1,000 in business every 6 hours, every 3 hours. Constantly give you something to look forward to, and then all in all, you amongst the people who make moves in that particular in that particular field. When I was 18, right after high school, I turned down scholarships to take care of my daughter. I had my daughter fresh out of high school. And I said, yo, I got to make sure that she's taken care of. I mean, I ultimately went back to school, of course, to play college football. But before I did that, I had to make sure that financially that my daughter was going to be all right. And I ended up working with a company that all we did was compete. They like, yo, what was the numbers of this marketing quarter? All right, so in this office, in this Brooklyn office, how is it comparable to the Manhattan office? Who did more numbers? Who did more numbers on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? It was competitive. It was a part of the culture. So how do we become a part of cultures that we don't know nothing about? We don't aim for nothing. We don't know who to look to as far as mentorship, leadership. So that way we could be our own independent, our own leaders, our own mentors. So we have to learn culture. And I'm seeing too much where people will be like, well, yeah, I don't know who this is. Or I don't know who that. I see it too much on social media. Too much. You have great artists and you be like, yeah, I don't know who this artist is. Like, I was born in 2000 or whatever the case may be. And I somewhat get it. I'm not necessarily mad, but when you're a part of culture, you just know. Because it's a part of culture. It's a part of lineage. History didn't start 20 years ago. So in order to move forward, you have to know where you come from. It's very important. And if you think that history starts with you or starts with your mother or father, then you're ruled for doom because you don't have nothing to look forward to. You don't have no sense of culture. So again, learn culture is very important. A shout out to Tish in the building. Appreciate you tapping in on my birthday episode. Hit them likes, hit them 100s, hit them likes, hit them 100s. But yes, culture is very important. Learn your culture. When you have a family, and I don't know about some families, but in a cultured family of brothers, when you come from, again, y'all know I don't like saying the word black because I'm not 3/5 of a person and I don't come from 3/5 of people. So I use culture as a substitute. So coming from cultured families, we have heirlooms that are passed down because it's important for us to know the connection of our ancestors. You wouldn't have been born without your mother and father. They wouldn't have been born without theirs. So understand your culture. Understand the culture that you want to be in. It matters. So again, when you're from a cultured family, those heirlooms that get passed down, like quilts, like special jewelry, silverware, it could be all types of stuff that's passed down. It's all a part of culture. Learn your culture. And that's my Keep the Lie Alive for this episode. Man, I want to thank y'all for tapping, and shout out to Christopher. My background is Spanish and Italian. My background started from 1897. Shout out to April. G's rambling a lot about a whole lot of nothing. If you think I'm saying there's a whole lot of nothing, then there's something wrong with you and inside of you. What I just said was a whole lot of substance, and then for you to get on here and try to troll that, God bless you. I hope you got what you came here for. God bless you. You can have that. That's so ignorant that I hope you got what you needed from that. Cause that's crazy. That's crazy. You're the perfect person of what I was talking about in past episodes about stains. You're a stain. You rather be remembered as somebody that wanted to be a stain to other people, in a sense you want to stick out and stand out based on negativity instead of positivity. So that means you have no confidence in yourself to be positive and to be memorable. You rather be a stain to stand out and be negative. God bless you on my birthday. Shout out to Christopher again. Happy birthday. By the way, I got a ring from Italy, 14 carat from 1899. That's fire. That's fire. And see, I like my high school that I went to, right? Uh, I went to, my high school, it was a lot of different ethnicities. And every ethnicity took pride in their family history, took pride in their family culture. One of my teammates, he invited me over to his house. He was like, "Yo, bro, you gotta come to my house, and I got the new video game day." This was I'm kind of telling my age. I'm 40. I just turned 41. NFL game day had just dropped, so I'm like, "All right, bro, I'm gonna come through, right?" So I go to his crib. His mother meet me at the door, smiling, give me the biggest hug in the world, so inviting. This lady kept offering me something to eat every half an hour. And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm full. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm full. He was like, no, I know my mom is just a little, she's just like that. You know what I'm saying? She's just like that. You know what I mean? Like, meaning like she's just so inviting. Her hospitality was just next level, making me feel comfortable, making sure, again, I was just comfortable. Had a great time. We playing, video games. We talking about the upcoming game, so on and so forth, right? And he's showing me pictures and just family heirlooms that was passed down from generation to generation. And I was like, yo, that's so dope because my family does that as well. So we connected on several levels outside of just being teammates and athletes. The fact that our families do this same exact thing, and we from two different sides of, the world. So the fact that he knew his culture, I knew my culture, so we have a better understanding where we come from, so we have a better understanding where we need to go, which matters. So The fact that you have that, Christopher, is dope, bro. Fathers playing music and spades and mom's cooking. Yeah, man. Like at the end of the day, and that's what I'm saying. Family culture matters. The culture that you want to be in matters, whether it's music, sports. It's so many subgenres and subgenres is what actually unites people. It's not race. The whole thing of race is a tool in this country used to keep people separate, keep people divided, and to keep people at odds because the whole bigger goal is money. And when you realize when you start making money and you end up in places where other people make money, race it's a factor, but it's not as big of a factor as most people think it is. Meaning, if you live on a block where nothing of people that have $1 million homes, when you in that neighborhood, whether regardless of the race you are, you're in that neighborhood. You're in that neighborhood for a reason. That means you make some sort of money that everybody respect in that neighborhood. And the reason why that matters is because they know that when they walk outside, there's not going to be random dog shit on the sidewalk. There's going to be an upkeep in the neighborhood because you make a certain amount of money. See what I'm saying? So that's why culture and understanding culture matters. And for people that don't understand it, they're going to say it's a whole lot of nothing. It's a whole lot of rambling. People that don't understand culture because they're not tapped in. Their brain haven't even fully developed yet. So at the end of the day, learn the culture that you want to be in. Learn the culture that you're from. Because in order to be able to move forward, you have to know where you're coming from. It don't get no better than that. It doesn't get no better than that. Y'all, I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. This has been episode 177, y'all. So I want to thank y'all for continuing to support the podcast. Again, this is my birthday episode. I'm on every Thursday, every Sunday. Again, every Thursday, every Sunday at 10:30 p.m. for all the first-time people tuning and tapping in. There's memberships in the page, so make sure you tap into the memberships. Different memberships provide you with different access as well. We on the road to 20,000 subs. We are a little over 11,000, so continue to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that share button. We have over 450 rewatchable videos of this podcast on this channel right now, so make sure you tune in and tap into those rewatch videos. Great for conversational starters, friends, families, co-workers. Like, we tap into everything on the show. You know, we tap into everything. Also, I want to thank the sponsors of the show, Bravo Section, Button Snaps, OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit me on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild as well. Also, I want to thank all of those for supporting my new EP right now, all those true hip-hop fans that tapped into my new EP, supporting my new EP, Winners Loyalty, up on every music platform right now. Again, type in Ashley Lovechild. All my music will pop up. Make sure you tap in, continue to support. I appreciate it immensely. And y'all have no idea. Thank you, especially for all my true hip-hop fans. Also, again, I want to thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps. Again, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. A button, hyphenated sign, snaps.com. Button, hyphenated sign, snaps.com. Again, if this is your first time watching, I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. Again, you can type in Ashley Lovechild on any and everything podcast and music will pop up. So make sure y'all tap in. Shout out to Steve in the building. Shout out to Steve in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Christopher doing your thing in the chat, man. Appreciate you for being engaged in the chat, man. I need an artist for the Cincinnati Music Fest. Dog, holla at me. Holla at me. Check out the music and holla at me. You know what I'm saying? Check out the music and holla at me. So make sure you tap in and we can work something out, man. You know what I'm saying? For real. For real. If you serious, I'm serious. So make sure tap in at OUV Records at Gmail. OUV Records at Gmail. Or Ashley Lovechild at Gmail. Either one. Make sure you tap in and we can work something out. Y'all, I want to thank y'all again for tapping in episode 177. That's a lot of episodes. That's a lot of episodes. And again, we continue to grow with your support and with the word of mouth. We on every Thursday, every Sunday, every Thursday, every Sunday at 10:30 p.m. I also pop up throughout the week, so you just never know. So hit that all notification bell. Thank y'all for tapping in, y'all. Again, type in Ashley Lovechild on all music platforms. That music will pop up. Got some fire music for all my true hip-hop fans. Make sure y'all tap in. And y'all already know it's love. And I'll see y'all this Sunday at 10:30. I'm out.